Welcome to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, home to the Airborne and Special Operations Forces. Named for Confederate General Braxton Bragg, a former artillery officer from North Carolina, Camp Bragg was established in 1918 to expand the Army's field artillery training. An aviation landing field named after First Lieutenant Harvey H. Pope was added a year later, which later became Pope Air Force Base. Simmons Army Airfield was also added to the installation. Fort Bragg's rich airborne history and tradition was launched in 1934 with the first military parachute jump, which used artillery observation balloons as platforms. It wasn't until 2 decades later that the post actually became an airborne training site. Today, Fort Bragg is the world's largest airborne facility with more than 45,000 military personnel. The post is located just west of Fayetteville in Cumberland and Hoke counties. Known throughout its history for its cultural diversity and military presence, the Fayetteville area stands testament to its proud past. The post's mission is to maintain America's Contingency Corps as a strategic crisis response force manned and trained to deploy rapidly by air, sea, and land anywhere in the world in order to fight upon arrival and win. The U.S. Army Special Operations Command, once known as the Psychological Warfare Center, was established at the installation in 1952, making Fort Bragg headquarters for Special Forces operations. Fort Bragg is training soldiers for combat. To that end, there are 7 drop zones where parachutists land and 4 impact areas where artillery shells land. Each year at Fort Bragg, the 82nd Airborne Division soldiers and others make over 100,000 parachute jumps. Relocating to Fort Bragg, you will find valuable transition and relocation support at Army Housing Services and Army Community Services. Each office can support your individual needs and help answer questions you may have concerning housing, education, and the local community. Army Community Services has a number of programs in place for newcomers, such as a weekly orientation, relocation counseling, reassignment briefings, standard installation topic exchange service, also known as SITES, and a lending closet. The housing office is conveniently located and can be easily accessed by walk-in visits, telephone, and the internet. By utilizing an A-plus customer service approach, housing specialists provide soldiers with proactive support and housing services throughout the duration of their duty. As soon as a soldier receives orders to relocate, it is beneficial for the soldier to contact the new housing office to ensure a smooth transition and to start the chain of excellent customer service. Army Housing One Stop, or AHOS, is the point of entry for housing-related information. This web-based resource sorts information in a variety of ways. For example, by installation or location, including links to floor plans, photos, maps, and basic allowance for housing rates. AHOS also provides valuable information about the local community with helpful links to area resources. Army Housing One Stop is your one-stop source for Army housing information and relocation assistance worldwide. The Automated Housing Referral Network, or AHERN, is another resource to utilize when looking for a house to rent or purchase off the installation. This relocation website is dedicated to serving military-only personnel. On average, 30% of soldiers with families live on the installation. Residential Communities Initiative, or RCI, allows the military to use private developers to build and renovate military housing at a fast pace, providing soldiers and their families with quality housing. Planned and integrated communities foster a high quality of life while preserving the existing military culture. Community centers are conveniently located in each neighborhood, providing families with a range of services from home leasing information and maintenance support to activities and community programs. The Army is committed to offering its single soldiers the best quality of life possible by providing each soldier a 1+1 or equivalent barracks room. The goal is to provide modernized amenities such as private living and sleeping rooms, walk-in closets, and kitchenettes. These modernized barracks provide valuable private space for soldiers with new furnishings that are attractive, durable, as well as functional. There are also large common areas for socializing and convenient laundry and mailroom facilities. Our soldiers have a place that they can call home during their tour of duty. Fort Bragg schools consist of 1 junior high, 1 middle school, and 6 elementary schools. High school students living on post are bused to E. Smith High School. Students that live off post are serviced by the various school districts depending on where they live. Child and Youth Services provide a variety of services and activities ranging from full-day, part-day, and hourly child care to before and after school programs, sports, and activities for middle school and teenage children. Child Development Centers offer programs for children 6 weeks to 5 years of age. These center-based programs are staffed with qualified, trained personnel. Youth Services offer recreation, leisure, developmental, and sports programs for elementary and middle school-age children. School-age services provide before and/or after-school care, summer and vacation camps, and hourly care. The goal for these youth services is to provide safe, flexible, and affordable child care options for parents and fun and enriching choices for youth. North Carolina offers a lot to do and see with its mild year-round climate. The monthly average temperature ranges from a low of 30 degrees in January to a high of 90 degrees in July. Some local attractions and things to do include the 82nd Airborne Museum, Arsenal Park, the Poe House, Smith Lake, Fascinate You Children's Museum, Freedom Memorial Park, the Fort Bragg Riding Stables, and the North Carolina Pottery Center and pottery shopping. The community of Fort Bragg, North Carolina welcomes you and your family to the home of the Airborne and Special Operations Forces. For more detailed information, visit Army Housing One Stop.